Hello everybody, it's Digital Dreamer. I thought I would finally make a video about the comparison on the Digimon Pendulum version color and the Digimon original version colors. This is my version 1 version color. I completely forgot to charge for this video I think it's version 3 that I have. And then this is my Nightmare Soldier's Pendulum that I've been running ever since I got it, and you can see it's got some nasty scratches there because this guy comes to work. He's my work assistant. So some of the biggest things, pros of both devices, both of them run by the same USB Type-C charging in the bottom here. If you've never seen one of these, let me just crack this guy open. So they both charge by USB Type-C, something I like a lot more than the Vital bracelet for both of these, and the charge on them lasts a long time. So this guy, I hadn't charged, I had him sitting off in the drawer for probably a couple of months here, and he's still at 3 bars. And then this guy I charged 3 or 4 days ago. Just started a new baby though, because I'm trying to do a Wizardmon and I keep messing up the requirements. That aside though, love that over the Vital bracelet and the Vital bracelet BE for this series. The charge lasts longer, and I mean we're in 2024. USB Type-C is the way to go. Everything is Type-C. And then, in addition to that, other big pros, love the color screen. Screen on these is beautiful. Might turn down his brightness maybe for the video. There we go. There we go, that's a little bit more visible on camera. So yeah, really love the color screen on these guys. Makes things way easier to use them in the dark too. For those of you that live internationally, I live in Canada, and for 6 months of the year it is dark. We get really early nights when the winters come around. I think it's the same in Norway and a couple other places as well, but it's a little tough to play with your like standard analog guys once it gets that dark. Oh, I should. Actually, no, I need care mistakes on you, so we'll leave that. Biggest things for these two as well, like the shell build, the thing that really threw a lot of people and myself for a loop on these guys is they were slightly bigger than the regular brick vpets. I know I tried to change out the frame and the buttons, and the frame for the regular vpets actually hangs over a little bit, so it kind of overshoots this piece here, which I was kind of not into. So this is the buttons and the frame from the version 4, because I think it looks better here. As far as the pendulum goes, I'll be honest, I haven't dabbled with taking the pendulums apart the way that I have these. Mostly for fear of the little shaker thing falling out, because I've messed up a few of those in the past. Honestly, I think they're the same dimensions. It looks the same as my Nightmare Soldier's X-Antibody one, I think it's the Pendulum Z is the set. That aside though, those are some of the big pros with both of these devices together. Now, there's definitely there's pros to this one and cons to this one that I think were ironed out for the Pendulum series. Addressing just these guys for a minute, and I think I've talked about this before, the volume. I don't know how bad that's going to come through on the camera. This is the low volume setting. If I go back in, this is the breakneck volume at which they arrive out of the box, which is super, super loud. Oh, can I? Oh god. I'm so sorry, we can't escape this now. We're just gonna let him do his thing. He's doing really well for a champion level Digimon here. Okay. Unexpected. Oh, there it is. Oh. And that's what I mean by the volume being like insane. Like, I'm so glad that they made it editable, but even at the lower volume settings, it's still quite loud in my opinion. Whereas in the Pendulum, I have him on minimal volume, but they've made the sounds much softer, which I super appreciate because it was a lot. Let me pump him up here. And that's at full, which is, again... Oh, I can't make you battle. It's still loud and still grating, but it's not nearly as bad, in my opinion. Don't know what it is about it that makes it better, but it sure does. Other nice things, love the buttons on both of these. That's mostly just a design difference between them. In this one, the lack of needing an English or a Japanese version is great. I know it's because the original Pendulums didn't have a lot, but having this menu in English has been really nice. Mostly just because I even experienced it today. I'm not good at remembering things, and going back into the menu on this guy to try and remember how to make the sound, not that volume at the start, I was like muffling it under a blanket as I hit the wrong option like 50 times. And I turned it off, I think, twice by accident. Now back to the pros here. This is a pro that I guess is mostly kind of out of the control of the device being a color device. The gameplay is just better. I have always really liked the X antibody devices, and I really like these ones for the Coliseum mode, which I cannot access right now. And this guy, I like the way they're laid out. I like having the album up here. I don't have an ACOM or a second volume, so I haven't gotten my beautiful son Lugomon yet, unfortunately. But soon, one day. Yeah, no, the gameplay's just better, and I love how they did this. Let's see if I can shake this on camera. Oh, I did not do it. I hit a button there, hold on. So the way they did this is great. I'm not colorblind, so I can't speak to that experience, but with these guys, the Pendulum series, for those of you that don't know, you need to shake them. Now, I have this one, and I have the Pendulum, I'm fairly certain it's the Z, the Pendulum Z Nightmare Soldiers. Big difference I've noticed in running that for a couple days between hatches on this one. The shaker in this one seems to be more accurate. This one has the color coding, and from what I've heard, the sound you're hearing isn't actually a shaker anymore. It's just a piece in there that makes the sound now, and that it's got like a digital motion recorder. Is that the word I want? But yeah, in going between them, the shakes on this are much more responsive and definitely more accurate, I'm noticing. Whereas on the regular Pendulums, it's not quite as good. Really small thing, but definitely something I noticed going between. Between these two devices, one thing I have definitely noticed, and I think it's just a design thing, is because of how inlaid the screen is on this one versus this one, I find I get a lot of dust in the corners. I cleaned it with a Q-tip before, but you can even see right there kind of how gritty it's getting. Other things between the two, of course, some different backgrounds. Now, I didn't get the File Island background on this guy, but you can see what I did get. We got the D1 from doing, I think it's 100 plus battles. We got the 25th. We got all sorts of things. I've connected with a couple devices to get some of these as well. The backgrounds are really cool. I think out of this one, though, my favorite's going to be the OG, of course. I like the ocean. I had the mountains on my other device as well. The training room's not bad. The D1 I got mostly, you know, just to say I did it. And then, where'd it go? This one. Love this one to death when it changes with the day. The one on the version 4 is kind of ugly, but that's okay. Yeah, that's the main things with this one. Like, I like these guys, and now that I have Airdramon, I've been keeping it off most of the time, because for whatever reason, he was incredibly hard to get, and I love him dearly and don't want to lose him. The gameplay loop on these ones I found got very repetitive, although they are just a color remake of the originals with added megas, so I can't complain too much in that regard. These ones definitely have, in my opinion, a more beefed up roster. The gameplay loop's not as bad because of the way that the Coliseum features work. And then for backgrounds on these guys, I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't do any research onto it. So we got our original background. We got the second background you unlock. This one's the third one you unlock for doing battles, and I really like this one. It reminds me of our war game. And then you can connect to the originals, and you can get the backgrounds from the originals. You can get this one. I can't remember. I think it's battling that I unlocked this one for. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, but you can unlock the swimmers. I don't know how close I can get that with it focusing. Oh, baby, that didn't do what I wanted it to. But yeah, you can get the swimmers from the commercial, which is kind of cool. And then, yeah, of course, just the original. But yeah, really like just a lot of features of this, like the background, like the gameplay. The gameplay is a little bit less vicious in a lot of ways. Let's see if I can change the focus. There we go. Sorry, still getting used to filming on the phone here. But yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of reasons for it, but I think this is a superior device by a long shot to these ones. And I think if you are considering getting one and you don't have a nostalgia reason to get the brick itself, I would go for the Pendulum, either this one or the one that's just coming out. They seem a bit better, and I mean, if you're worried about protecting it so you don't do what I did, like a big dumb idiot, and scratch the ever-living heck out of it, there's one on, I think, a Japanese site that people are getting. A couple people I follow on Instagram have them. And then also Zenon TCG is doing a clear case. They've already made one for these, but I don't take this out enough to warrant it. But they're going to be doing a clear case that's on pre-order for these ones. So I'm probably going to get that to avoid Incident Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, they're a good device. They got a good roster. Love the way the roster shows up. Love seeing the babies in color. Nightmare Soldiers is one of my favorite runs, and I'm super happy to see it. Super happy to see the different sprites. Was really hyped to see that they added everyone's favorite boy, Noble Pumpkinmon, to the roster. But yeah, I really thought I had more to say about this, but apparently I don't. But yeah, I'm hoping to get probably the device with Vdramon on it solely because of V-Tamer when they do the next release here. But other than that, that's all I got about these guys. So say goodbye to Demimeramon and Aerodramon. And that's all I got. This is Digital Dreamer signing off, and we'll see you next time.